how to make money on Reddit. Thanks to the latest Google updates, a lot of the traffic moved to Reddit. Last night, I interviewed Ewen Finser, who is crushing it on Reddit and created a course about it. So he's going to tell you about cool strategies that you can use right now in order to hack Reddit and get the traffic back to your website. Let's jump in. Hello everyone and welcome to another video, and I am very glad to host Ewen Finser one more time here for not a review this time. It's a special episode that I'm doing, and this one is about all the hype in the negative way of what's happening with Google. So Ewen made a lot of research on this and even has a course of how to handle the problem. And I'm very glad to have him again. Thank you, Ewen.
Good to be back on. Yeah, it's a little bit different than our last time, but I think
we did a deal review last time. We will do more of those.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe even some like Reddit account reviews once they start getting sold.
Okay, so I'm excited about this because I been sitting and doing those deal reviews, and basically for the past year, the whole internet has gone upside down, where the problem small websites are dealing with is that Google basically moved 90% of the traffic to large websites. Okay, so if you search for different keywords, and we'll show that in a sec, first page is Amazon, Reddit, any other example, any big website you can think about, and you see a lot of small websites owners complaining that their traffic is 60% down, 70% down, 90% down, 100% down, like non-exist. So things have changed, and we spoke a little bit before starting the recording. Let me share my screen and show you some of that. Screen here. So I went ahead and searched for keywords in Reddit on my Ahrefs account. Okay, Ahrefs is a platform for doing research on different websites. This is what I do when I am reviewing deals and looking for buying different digital assets. There are other tools like Semrush. Which one you use, Ewen? This one?
Yeah, I actually have a subscription to both, but I like to use for this particular thing that you're doing, I like to use Ahrefs. But really any tool that can reverse engineer what a website is ranking for is interesting for this purpose.
There are many out there, but I think the four big ones, correct me if I'm wrong, are Semrush and Ahrefs.
Yeah.
So what I did is plugging in reddit.com and going to see which kind of organic keywords Reddit is ranking for. And this is where the list starts. It has only 107 million keywords. Okay, quite a few with Reddit coming first, but there are a bunch of others. Now, we are here to talk about the strategy of hacking Google through Reddit, but basically a lot of keywords just went up and they're giving their traffic to Reddit. Let's maybe check. So you mentioned I should maybe search for something interesting like best.
Go to more filters and then put in like review or best or something. Yeah.
Best. Show results. And now we will search through the 107 million here.
And okay, this is where your traffic went.
Okay, movies. Best horror movies. Best movies of all times. And the ranking is, you see, it's 1 or 2 or 3 or any of the first page, or basically the top one, right?
Yeah.
So think of all these smaller websites which were talking about horror movies, and suddenly they're not even at the first page, or maybe not even the 5th page. Maybe you can see.
And even if you think about like best renters insurance, that might have been one of those big finance sites.
Right. And let's see if they're in the SERP. Best renters insurance. So Reddit is first. It doesn't make sense, but Reddit is first.
Yes.
Yes, news, fine. NerdWallet, okay. Number 3, that makes sense. That's a better thing there. What else? You were saying
Investopedia down at the bottom.
Was that?
Yeah, Investopedia. Like there's some big,
Oh, yeah.
big names, but like you can see a lot of it's just, it's either the brand, it's like Allstate, which is
Yeah, let's look at the
a
DR.
brand. Of course, they're going to probably recommend their own product.
Look at this.
Um,
DR4. Okay,
there.
that's a
Not sure
curious
what's
case.
going on.
Definitely. It's maybe an outlier of what's going on in the market right now. Okay, let me close the SERP here. So basically, we're talking about the problem of Google changing everything here. Small websites have no chance. And Ewan here came with a strategy. I'd say you can break it down to 3-ish kinds of strategies where you can basically hack it back to the top through Reddit. I'll give you the stage. If you need my screen, share the screen. Tell us what we can do.
Yeah, so I think you described a little bit the different approaches, right? You mentioned like hacking. I think my context and probably your context is more SEO, bloggers and niche operators, people like that, right? Who are coming at it from a very specific set of experiences. And so I use the context of the like ethics up front, like there's white hat, black hat, gray hat, whatever, like all the different hats, right? On the spectrum of this is completely in line with terms of service of Google in the old context. And this is like, they explicitly tell you cannot do this. And if you do this, you're bad. And then there's stuff in the middle. It's kind of like, I don't know, maybe. And then that's kind of how I looked at Reddit. I was like, again, their terms of service is a lot less developed than Google's. But, the very basic play that I think anyone can do, regardless of if you're a content site operator, an SEO hacker, whatever you want to call yourself, you can have a brand. You can literally be selling rugs or carpets. And I'm a firm believer. I'm yelling it at the rooftops that you should be on Reddit. You should register your Reddit handle, your sub handle. That's that little descriptor that comes after, it's reddit.com/Reddit/r/ and then everything after that's the second name is your brand name, your interest group, could be like pickleball players or like pickleball fanatics, whatever it is.
Right. There's no domain buying here. Just do it.
You can register as many as you want. And so just get your name out there. And like, if you're already creating content, it's almost like a simple social media distribution play. It's like, just share your stuff on Reddit. Like, it has so much more visibility just by doing that, not even getting into the tactics of it. You're going to have more of an advantage. You're going to start getting Reddit traffic just by doing that, right? Because you're going to incidentally rank for stuff. You see it all the time with Reddit ranking for stuff. And you're like, wait, why? How's that post ranking for that? Because they have, it's like having the world's most powerful domain, and you can create as many variations, many subdomains, or many, extensions on the pages on that root domain as you want.
There is a disclaimer here that we never know how long these things work. Like it's an ever-changing thing, but for now, it's definitely a good opportunity.
Even this past week, Google dialed back a little bit. They started introducing not just Reddit, they started introducing more other forums, and they kind of reversed it for some big publishers are now getting more prominence. But if you do zoom out over the last 6 to 9 months, Reddit is up and to the right. Like there's almost like a huge hockey stick.
I got to tell you something. Yeah. So I spoke with the Reddit business team because I was looking at doing advertising with them. And then I told them that I know that their traffic is way up because Google is ranking, give them all the SERP results. And I told her I saw that you went from 100 million views a month to 700 millions. And basically the person I spoke with, she just said, yeah, the company is doing really good. We're really a good team, like things that she was not talking about.
Yes. So it's interesting you mentioned that, because talking about with someone earlier about the exact same thing, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way, right? Because, I think their growth, like over the last year, they've grown, like their monthly active users are up 50%. And so not only are they getting this additional search, which is like free lead gen, right? There's two ways I think about this. There's the bull case and the bear case. The bear case for Reddit is what you described. It's like, disclaimer, Google may decide they're out of favor, and Reddit may go back to where it was, which, by the way, it wasn't, it was still ranking 100 million. Like you said, it's still a viable channel. It just wasn't as interesting. But what I think what is missing, and the way I describe Reddit today, is it's almost two things. on the one hand, it's a platform, it's a network, it's a social media kind of community that has its own ecosystem. Things can go viral within Reddit that have nothing to do with what's ranking in Google. And it's just people that are part of the communities, liking stuff, sharing stuff, getting surfaced on the homepage, on the sub pages within certain fields, certain topics. That's one part of Reddit. The other part of Reddit is a search engine proxy. And so I think it's just important to like frame it. Like there's two things that are happening here. But if they're getting all this visibility now, even if that search visibility goes away, you know, they have X number of millions of additional users that make the viral, the old Reddit, or the base case of Reddit is still one of the fastest growing channels. Even if you take away all the Google traffic, it's still going to be one of the top players now because of this opportunity to have. It doesn't take a lot to get that organic flywheel turning. The more people are creating content, you know, the more people sign up, you know, it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy for them. So that is the bear case though. And kind of the bull case is like, this is the future, right? The future of content marketing, of the internet, is actually something closer to communities, commenting, discussions. And I'm actually like pretty excited about this, as painful as it is to the old model. I actually think what's going to happen, this is like my predicting the stars, this is just my opinion, there's going to be a merging of our old editorial concept with the UGC forum, because obviously with Reddit, there's some downsides to having anyone, you know, anonymous user 323 spouting off on some opinion. How is that person qualified? And so there's going to be that, maybe there's some, I don't know what it looks like, but I think there's an opportunity for publishers or bloggers or influencers coming from our old world to come onto Reddit with a brand that is not anonymous, with credentials that are not anonymous, and actually kind of disrupt a little bit that problem with Reddit. But at the same time, like the old model of you're in a boardroom or you're in an editorial room and you have a managing editor and you have copywriters, and you know, it's like the New York Times, like that model is, maybe that's not as viable anymore. So anyway, that's kind of how I'd frame the context. But to your point, yeah, disclaimer, this is new. But like you said, it's grown so much, and it's really happened in what, 6 months?
Yeah, it's 7x in 6 months or so.
And I don't think that has sunk in to the average. People are really bad with numbers, you know, particularly exponential growth. Like what drilled it home for me a couple of days ago, I saw a stat. I think Kevin Indig had a tweet, and he was like, Reddit now has the same visibility as Amazon.com.
Wow. I didn't think of it. Wow.
So, and if you think about what's the history of the last 5 years, and all the billions of dollars that were raised to these Amazon aggregators, I mean, different market, different, like it's a product marketplace, whatever, but like, that's what we're talking about, that scale of visibility. And so I just think there's a huge opportunity. And if you're struggling with what to do as a publisher or a blogger or a digital asset acquirer right now, like, what should I focus on? I think Reddit is one of the easiest things to transition to, because it's actually fairly similar to what we were doing before, with some different nuances versus trying to understand.
My whole RSS feed of all my content into my subreddit one by one.
Well, I think there's some things with the filters, right? Like, you don't want to post everything at once. If you look like spam, there's automated filters that will shut you down. If you have too many outbound links, if you're a new account with a ton of outbound links, particularly affiliate links, like, there's things that are probably going to get you into trouble more often.
Subreddit. Even though you're the owner of the subreddit, they're still going to ban you. That's right.
There's basically there's two filters with Reddit. There's the individual moderators of that community, which is just one part of it. And that's why, like, the history around Reddit is like, oh, like, they ban everything. They're sticklers. They don't let you like post links, and
very hard.
Reality was, yeah, the old Reddit, that's maybe kind of true, but today that's not really the case. Every single Reddit is governed by different kind of bylaws, if you will, informal bylaws. And then you have Reddit as a whole, and what they're looking at is they're programmatically looking at patterns and saying, this looks spammy. This account looks like it's whatever, a bot, or they're just spamming for links, right? So there's two things you're trying to be careful of: where you're posting, what community you're posting in, and the Reddit algorithm. And what you're pointing out is you can create your own subreddit and you can make yourself the king and you can create your own laws that govern your own community, right? And anything goes or nothing goes, whatever. So you can deal with half of that problem by just creating your own subreddit, but you still have to worry about spam patterns, essentially.
I see. Okay. So you might want to post not 100 in 2 days, 100 posts on your subreddit that you own, you're the king, in 2 days, but probably, drip them in.
Yeah.
Send them somehow to your original website because you don't get anything from the ads on Reddit. You probably want the ads and the affiliate links into your website.
Yeah, and there's different games you can play. I think the long-term game with Reddit would be build a community on Reddit.
That makes sense.
And then, get people to trust you. And I think I did share an example with you of one subreddit where I think in that one, I might be wrong, but I think they actually get people onto a Discord channel. And then when they publish something on Reddit, they direct people back to Reddit so that they get more engagement on their posts, which gets them to the front. And then the cycle repeats. And they do actually have a website. They do also have links to the website, but it's kind of like, it's more of like a hub and spoke model than it is just get people back to the website. But that is one way to do it, right? Is like, I've seen people just literally post the link to the article and they're just ranking based on the title of the post. But the other way to do it, the one I've had some success doing, is almost like this 50-50 kind of way of doing it, which is you do a post, you have the title, it's optimized, but then you do provide some value in that post. It could be like 10 ways to make, to pay off your credit card debt or something. And it would be like, I just published this article, go into depth about some of the common misconceptions. And like, these are 3 things I think everyone should do, like this, and this. And then for the other 7, check out the article. And so it's almost like this, you're giving value. You're not just like, a leech. You're giving value and you're still getting that link, and you're going to have some people that don't follow through, but like some people will comment and you'll have engagement that way and things like that. So that's one way and then the other way to do it is literally just to like provide all the value or provide a lot of value up front and kind of play the longer game of like, have your link in the site, the widget section, Reddit, you can have your link there where people can follow you or engage with your YouTube channel or your website or your Twitter handle. And sporadically link to your brand, but do kind of play this longer term game that isn't just about traffic substitution. It's actually about like brand building over time. So there's a whole different, you can play long games or short games or midterm games, or create 10 different subreddits that each have a different strategy.
For sure. When I am consulting clients or talking about building, buying a website, it's always talking about, it's not 2024, it's not enough just to throw content in there and buy backlinks. It's about building a moat or finding something that you can add. And definitely a newsletter, a community on Reddit, as example, is something which goes without saying you should do nowadays for, making your digital asset, let's say, stronger. Just last longer and worth much, much more. Hey, what's up? Please like and subscribe here at the bottom, and let's continue.
And I think there's so many plays in there, like you described. There's like the newsletter is probably, there's so many playbooks I haven't created yet that I want to, around like the newsletter playbook, where you go in, you provide some value, and then you get people to Beehive, ConvertKit, or whatever. And that's the newsletter playbook. And then there's the Discord playbook, and then there's the YouTube channel, like getting viral, getting like boosting using YouTube. Yeah, exactly. And so you can think about it in so many different ways. And even for like a brand, right? If you're selling like carpets or rugs or something, and one way to play it again would just be, let's say you're trying to comment. This is another strategy, is you can comment. You can also try to jump into an existing established subreddit. Some of them have, I think the gaming has like 60-70 million members. And so you can jump in there and you can just drop a mention to your brand without a link. And it's hard to measure, but think about the effect that people then take that, oh, what, I never heard that. I'm going to put it in Google, I'm going to find that brand. And so you can almost do like brand awareness if you have a product or something like that, if to get around both the algorithmic spam filters and moderators who might have a policy of no self-promotion or no links. And so there's like different ways to do it. And another way in between there, let's say they don't allow external links, you could link internally on Reddit to your subreddit.
So that's okay. But then you need to know the policies of each one of those. You need to know them.
And that's where it's like the Wild West. Like each one is different. Once you've seen one Reddit, you've just seen one Reddit, one subreddit. And you need to kind of, and that's where it becomes valuable if you can gain intelligence. And I'm building spreadsheets, of like where you can post, where you can't post, what they're like, what gets approved, what doesn't. And honestly, having some burner accounts where we're testing different things out. Like, what can we do here? What can we do here? What are they might have policies.
Yeah. That's a whole service right there. Agency service.
Yes.
Somebody's just checking stuff.
Well, that's where my head, I think it's, again, Wild West kind of opportunity. I don't think it's sunk in. I think there's service applications. I think there's obviously the traffic applications for pretty much any business. There's also software that needs to be built because there isn't any good software around Reddit. There's also just a lack of intelligence. If you run a subreddit, you get a very basic analytics view, which tells you like how much traffic your subreddit got over the last period of time, but it doesn't tell you which threads are dropping traffic. You can see that Reddit has their own list of like the top subreddits, and it's really interesting to go deep diving down. Like it's like the best of or whatever. You go down the list of like the largest has 60, 70 million, and then go down to the ones that have like 10,000 or 20,000, like the middle class of Reddit, to find opportunities. You can spend days and days and days just doing that, but there's no tool to assess change. What are the fastest growing Reddits? That's like I think
a subreddit to buy. Let's do that. That will be an interesting thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So
exactly
because we have this amazing opportunity right now because of changes in the market, you built Reddit Leverage. So that's the course that you built, and you said that you have 3 strategies. So white hat, gray hat, black hat. Most of what we mentioned now was white going to gray, but
into gray,
I'd say. So on that part, I don't know if you can mention something about the black.
Yeah, I've taken I used to operate. I do operate more on the white hat, and like again, I say, at least do your brand visibility play. At least try that. Anyone is very low risk, but like on the if we get to the darker end of that spectrum, there's a underground marketplace basically for subreddits, for buying and transacting subreddits accounts with high karma. Karma is like the currency for Reddit. So if you have certain communities will have rules like you have to have more than 10 karma to post or comment or something. They have different rules for people, and just the more you have, the more I think there's something algorithmically you get a little bit more of a boost if you have more. So you can buy an account with like 3,000 karma or something, and do different things with that, right? There's I think there are services to buy upvotes, to buy downvotes. So upvotes is another. We don't know. It's like a Google algorithm. We don't know what percentage of an one upvote. What does that count as? That doesn't matter who it's from, or like who knows. All we know is that there's some directional capability there. If you have more upvotes, you tend to get more visibility. And then on the inverse side, if you have downvotes, and usually this comes into play, it's for the post itself, but also the comments. So if you get a comment on a really high visibility subreddit on a high visibility post about a product, like let's say you're recommending your brand, saying, have you heard about this one? We're solving that problem, or just even more anonymously, they're solving that problem, and you get a bunch of upvotes, then that will rank as the top comment under this very popular post. So you can also get downvotes. So if you want to play both games, it's kind of like negative SEO almost. It's possible, right? And then there's also like, if you want to get really aggressive with monetization, you can put affiliate links often directly into posts or comments. Some get picked up by the auto filter for Reddit, like impact radius, for example. I don't know what it is, They don't like their links, but other ones they're fine with. They don't. And the other kind of tactic here is a lot of times you're able to edit your posts. And so you can post something with no links and then get it through the moderation cycle. And then 6 months later, go add an affiliate link or an outbound link. So imagine all the services and ecosystem that's going to be.
They exist.
Yeah. And so this is like, I just think that I'm not really an expert. I was just like, oh my God, like this is an amazing opportunity. Let me create this course. I'm not a course builder. I don't typically sell digital products. I was just like, I just need to get what's in my brain into some organized place for my own sake, but I may as well offer it as a service or a learning opportunity for others too, if they're interested.
Nice. Okay. So you build this course. How long did it take?
Took me probably a week of planning, but like a weekend to record it.
And you also mentioned that it's still on the work. So you keep updating this.
Yeah.
You mentioned you just added a new video. So it's still, because everything is so new and happening, you keep researching, you keep changing.
I'm adding stuff, I'm modifying stuff. The last week I added one on, there's a way you can claim subreddits that are not being run properly or have inactive moderators.
Can you show
some
an
of them
example?
Yeah, like
show something?
Yeah, like Container Homes was the one actually I use as an example.
Let's do that.
And
wait, let me share your screen.
Yeah, hold on.
But I don't know if it's able to record your screen, so let me share my screen and then I'll just go.
Let me yeah, I can drop it in here.
That's on Reddit. That's the file.
Yeah, I just dropped the link in the chat.
Container Homes.
So this one has 27,000 members, and there's a subreddit, I guess, there is a subreddit where you can post to the moderators like, hey, this forum is. There's some people you can see here that are posting real stuff, but if you go down, I don't know if they successfully, maybe they successfully fixed it. Like maybe this person claimed it, and that's like against the whole there. But there was a lot of spam on here. There was a container store, site storage right there. That's spam.
This one?
Yeah,
they look spammy.
Yep. But then you can see in between that there were people asking legitimate questions.
Here, 5
storage. But if you go down a little bit further, yeah, this is spam. Like this, that's someone asking a question about a container home.
So basically, you can claim this one and clean up all those, and you get those 27,000 people. Where, what can you do with those? You can email them. What can you do with those?
Well, you can't email them directly, but you can set up funnels. Eventually, and this comes into there's no playbook really established for this. I mean, you could take it over and not do anything. You could take it over and try to cut out, try to talk to this spammer and be like, hey, prices are going up. But I think the right way, what will get me excited is to be, let's actually create this as a destination. I mean, Container Homes is a great vertical, provide value. It's like with anything in marketing, like Reddit has this stigma of they don't let anyone in, but clearly this is what's happening. People are able to spam, but create a high value community around Container Homes, and then maybe offer a course or offer a membership or offer home plans or something, and not have it like spam, but have it as in the sidebar, you can add widgets, or you can have one sticky post at the top that says, in order, basically what the problem here is that Reddit doesn't pay their moderators. And so they're kind of relying on people out of their own goodwill to do it. And of course, if you have that, people are going to do different things, right? You're going to have, particularly now.
Good job. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And so I think where it's probably going to end up is people are going to start using Reddit more and more as community building, but having monetization in there, having channels in there. But there's going to be like with Google, an acceptable balance of this is a niche blogger that is providing me all the best information on this topic, and I have to see some display ads. That's the cost of content, right? And I think that's the challenge that I think Reddit's going to have to deal with, I guess, is people will have to, at some point, pay the bills. Otherwise, it'll either be spam, complete spam.
Right. They need to do something with it. I'm sure there'll be, just like with blogs and websites, that people build something out of passion and that stays this way for 10 years, and then somebody comes and buy it and monetize it. That's what happening. That's actually the best deals you can find out there. Somebody was really passionate. It's the best content. If it has some kind of a mailing list or a community around it, there'll also be like super hype about what this guy is doing. So that's kind of the best thing.
The analogy here, I guess, with this claiming lost Reddits or whatever, is you can do that for free.
You can do that for free, right? And
I mean,
basically, you can claim that now. That's what you're saying.
I think again, I have a couple claims. I've been running through a couple of these. I don't have like a case study yet of like, oh, I successfully acquired, this subreddit. But I think something you probably need to have some track record. Like it's not like, oh, anyone who says I want it gets it. There's a process to go through. You have to post what you're going to do with it. You have to like send a message to the Reddit team. Like there's a certain way but people are doing it. Like it's working, and it's just there's no playbook really established yet.
Super interesting. Wow. Okay. So you have this course. We're going to add a link at the bottom to the course so people can be able to check it out. Don't check it out in 6 months because things might be irrelevant, or maybe Ewen will keep updating it, but we don't know how long this will last. The time to check it is now.
Yes.
Or you just add also when was the last time you updated on the course, so people would know how updated that is and relevant.
Yeah, and the plan is like, obviously, as I build it out, I don't know what the future holds, but if it continue to see this as a good play, like I'm gonna add more and more material, then probably I'll increase like, the prices over time. But anyone who's kind of in earlier, there's no like, that's it. You're in for whatever you came in on is what what you're gonna pay. So like,
right.
That's kind of my plan. It's like right now I'm still, everything in there is super actionable. If you like, if you just do the white hat stuff, I'm not gonna guarantee any kind of results, but like there's very little risk.
Probably.
Yeah. And there's a lot of upside if it works. So like, it's a free shot on goal, and why, that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. And
And you market it as I forgot because I looked at the homepage a few hours ago. Something on a weekend. What did you write there?
Yeah, basically, it was like get Reddit running or traffic stream in a weekend. Like you can put up and I use an example in the course where I had some I have a newsletter. I do my newsletter, Niche Media Publishing, and I created a little newsletter stacks community that I use as an example. It has like 3 or 4 posts in it, and it has like 8 or 10 members. It's not. It was just as an experiment. Like we are ranking for like, I forget exactly what it is, like ConvertKit review or ConvertKit versus BI, and like right up there with like Spencer Hawes from Niche Pursuits, and this was like a little paragraph describing my experience with them.
Okay. Wow. So okay. So again, we'll add a link to the course. Check it out. A lot of things, definitely big upside there to check it out. Ewen, it was great having you. We're probably going to do more reviews in the next, I guess, few weeks. Maybe that will be a subreddit review. We'll see. So we'll chat about that. So thank you for coming.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, as always.
Great. I hope this is helpful for you. Understanding what Ewen is saying and implementing it is the most important thing. At the link below, there is a link to join the course with a special discount for my viewers. So go click on the link and join that course. You won't regret that. See you next time. Cheers.